We're joined by Nick Rathjen, Managing Director of Ore Resources. Nick, thanks for your time.
Thanks, David.
Vested assets, raised cash, $7.5 million, and focused now all in on the Eastern Goldfields region of Western Australia. Why this focus and what's the plan?
Yeah, good question. And the main thing is that we made a gold discovery. But to trace back to how we got there is we had our Kangaroo lithium asset. Lithium market went through its cycle. It's now also returning and coming much stronger, which we think is a good opportunity for that asset. But we repositioned the focus on gold, and particularly a focus on assets that we think have high impact, we think have been underexplored. And that discovery that we have made at Miriam on the Coolgardie belt really does amplify what you're looking for when you're looking for a gold asset, particularly in WA, particularly with scale.
And a great place to be doing business.
Oh, the best place. It's probably the best postcode you can find. I've worked in jurisdictions across the world and remote and get plane access and tracks and donkeys. And yeah, having a direct flight out to Cal and being on site within 45 minutes makes it really easy. And more importantly, the belt where we're on, we're really wedged between majors. We've got Min 260, Focus Minerals, Horizon Minerals, and large-scale producers around us as well. So it's a really, really good area to be in, not only to see what scale potential can be, but also that there's operators and it's a good area to do business.
What about scale? At Miriam, you have uncovered and announced a 6-kilometre gold corridor, multi-lode discoveries at Forest. How big could this project be?
Yeah, it's a very good question. When we acquired the asset in sort of mid-2025, over 6 months ago, we saw that there was some historical drilling, but it really underscored what the potential was. The depth it went down to was about 60 metres, really only testing the oxide component of the ground, and the majority of the ground was still untested. We went through a methodical process of sort of fleshing these targets out. The initial drill program, the results came out in September, validated what we thought, that not only was the thickness and the grade larger than historical results drilled 30 years ago, but there was fresh rock loads. And since then, we've very aggressively expanded that footprint, expanded Forest, and now taken the footprint over 850 metres strike. And then also, as we've gone deeper, we've actually got better grades and thicknesses. So we've been able to hit 12 metres at 12 grams, 46 metres, and also a 25 at 3.3 gram load at depth of 120 metres as well. We've continued to step those out, and as it remains open and we're currently drilling, we're continuing to step that out again. So the potential is definitely there. And then if we step back on the belt, the average deposit on the belt ranges from 250,000 to over 1 million ounces as a single deposit. So that's a really good gauge for Forest, but obviously with the peers in the area, they have 4.5 million ounces, 2.7 million ounces. You can see that the scale exists here, and that's something we are very rapidly looking to expand.
You touched on drilling. You've got a 30,000 metre drill program underway. What are you targeting and what will success look like?
Yeah, we've announced the 30,000 metres at Coolgardie, and the success and the opportunity that we see there is definitely a multi-phase, multi-campaign approach, and it covers Miriam and Burbank East. That's where our existing gold prospectivity is from historical drilling. And obviously the focus and what we're drilling at the moment is at Forest. We've demonstrated the mineralisation depth and multiple high-grade lodes. We're still in the top 150 metres from surface and it continuing. So that's a growing story and obviously a growing resource potential story there. But as we take a step back, the rest of the land's been largely untouched, but the drilling that had been done was wide space RAB drilling 30 years ago that we see highlighted good smoke and good opportunity. And that's why we're going to go back and go first pass through with air core, really bring all these, there's over 7 targets across the two tenements, bring them all to the fold, showcase what the opportunity here is, and then back that up with depth extension with RC. And we're also doing diamond at the moment with Forest. So key bit with Forest is as we're advancing it and extending it, we're also looking at getting a better understanding of the structure. So in March, we'll be commencing a diamond program, really to see how the mineralogy goes, and also commencing metallurgical test work.
You're surrounded by operating mills, 15 kilometres from the project location. What does that infrastructure mean to the potential development of this project should you be successful?
Yeah, it was a really key factor for us in when we were acquiring gold projects. And obviously the Coolgardie Belt is, at the time was fractured, but rich with existing infrastructure. There's a sealed road from our site, even from the lithium project all the way up. So you can turn off that sealed road and you're on the deposit within under 500 metres. That runs all the way into Coolgardie. You've got 2 operating mills there. But to get to there, you've got to pass the old Burbags mill as well, which is 2 kilometres away from the forest. So power, water, existing services, there's operators in the area there. It really means it's generally what people call champagne exploration, or the ability to unlock value really, really quickly. And that's something we're looking to do at Miriam. But the other bit of that is it really gives us ample opportunity and commercial pathways. We see the scale here and we're going to go unlock that scale in the next couple of months. But then it really sort of puts ore resources on a map for the peers in the area of, this is a really key strategic asset of high grade and scale potential. And for us, that gives us an opportunity to not only look at a standalone development pathway when we reach that scale, but also multiple other commercial options that, other companies are doing by, mining and putting through toll processing operations. So that's what gives us that opportunity there.
And looking for the rest of this year, you've touched on a lot of activity, but what should investors be really focused on from Ore Resources this year?
Yeah, well, we're an exploration, but importantly, we're a discovery-focused business that we do have the experience to then take things through to development. So the key thing here is not only the existing potential for us and extending that, and we think that's going to continue to grow and become a sizable deposit in its own right. But really it's about the discovery and unlocking all these other targets that we have that had the same characteristics as forest. There was historical drilling, highlighted there was oxide mineralization, but never really tested. And most of the shear, that 6 kilometre corridor, hasn't been tested. So it's really about not only expanding forest, but finding more of it and really sort of highlighting that scale potential that we're looking for to go into development.
Strong balance sheet, active drilling campaign, tier 1 location. Look forward to following Ore Resources with interest. Nick, thanks for your time.
Thanks, David.